Rob says the video is working, so is the sound. Good, guys.
Says it's working now.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll make sure. Quick start. Single let's have that. Good.
All right, we're gonna get the meeting started, Ed.
Yeah, give me some. I didn't plan on doing that now. Right now.
Scroll that down so that we can see the thing.
Down.
Just
Just the thumbnail. The other way.
the other way.
The other way? You know,
There you
right
go.
there.
Perfect.
You don't want more.
What?
You want more?
No.
Lose everything. Has everybody signed in for us? Yes, and now again. Ready, Ed?
Yep.
We're gonna do roll call. First meeting started, and then do roll call. Batsky,
Here.
Fletcher.
Here.
That's here.
Roger.
Roger.
Here.
All right, we're gonna pledge allegiance. We go. You ready?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did you guys go through the old agenda, or not the agenda, that's approval of the agenda for tonight?
The style of it, you mean?
Yes,
And the content.
and the content in it.
The style of it is very similar. This is what we go.
Mhm. Yep, that's, we're gonna start following the township. All right, did you guys go through and review the minutes?
Well, first, we need a vote. I make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
I'll second it. Roll call, aye. All ayes.
Aye.
Aye.
Can we review the minutes? Did everybody go through and read the minutes?
I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
Second, or actually,
Roll call,
Yes.
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 Got up.
Yep.
Public comment. Is there any public comment at this time? Nope, okay, moving on. New business, we have none. New business, old ordinance amendments reviewed by Ed. Ed, you're up.
Okay, so. Small print. So we had 5 that we'd like to review tonight. And if we, actually, the first one was approved on 12/11/2024, which is after the adoption of the 2020 ordinances. So that amendment would fall under the new latest ordinance. It's fully approved. It's standby at this time till we go back through that ordinance and update it again, then it would be added to the ordinance. At this point, what I feel just needs to happen from this board, since we're going through this whole list, and we want to make sure we didn't miss anything, was that the planning commission board would vote that no action is required and that this would be included the next time the 2020 ordinance would be updated. Now, with our new agenda item, that's my recommendation. We actually won't vote on it till we get down to action items, so,
Correct.
yes.
Second.
Just add to that, that the board has authorized an update of ordinance. So with the things that Adam Young from Wade Trim has right now, one of the products that we will receive back is an updated ordinance document. So if the planning commission would be so kind as to provide Jackie with a list of all of the ordinances such as those that should be incorporated, we can make sure that those are in fact incorporated into this.
And that's what I would add to the actions required. So Jackie has, as I can't, I would say, I don't add that till we vote on it. That as you looked at the document that I provided, always puts what date we vote on it, so we have a good tracking for it.
Okay, move on.
Yep. Next one is 24-01 falls under the same exact criteria. Again, when we get to voting on it, I would make a motion that we vote that no action is required, would be included in the next 2020 ordinance update. So it falls under the same scenario as the first one.
Question.
Yes,
So you got like 2401 up there, 2402 above, like 2402 is above 19.02 on this paper. Does that mean we're changing 19.02?
on which you're looking under
The
Second page in.
second
Yep.
page in.
second page in. So 1902, let me just double check what this is for, okay? The old 19,
Because I couldn't see, I didn't understand this.
What is it for regards to?
1902 is for appeals for the appeal may be taken to the zoning board of appeal.
It added a 30-day window.
And are we changing it to 2402? Is that what that means?
So the 2402 ordinance amendment added the 30-day window. So we didn't have a limitation on how long you could take to appeal to the zoning board of appeals. So the recommendation was made to create a deadline, and that deadline is 30 days, and that's what that amendment is.
So will it still be section 19.02?
Yes,
Just with this?
but that's the
Asterisk?
reference to the ordinance amendment number. So that ordinance amendment number is what makes that change to section 19.02. And
Okay.
then that needs to be incorporated in the new version, so that the new version
And then
has that 30-day window already in its language. That's right.
Then, correct me if I'm wrong, the 2402 will come out at that time.
Well, it doesn't actually come out. It's your way of putting in numerical order the ordinance
Right.
amendments that you voted to approve in this year. So it would remain part of the public record, but it would be incorporated into the full ordinance document.
Right.
So- That is basically what we're trying to accomplish.
Yes.
Is we've changed these ordinances, now
There-
we need to try to approve them to get them into the book.
Right, and the thing is you've seen that Excel file I had sent out. I mean, we went all the way back to 1996 to see that we hadn't missed something, okay?
Because we found that in the new version that we have right now, we did miss things. So we're trying to do better.
Okay.
Um. The next item is for 18-01, which was amendment in 1801, which is prior to the zoning ordinance we're working under. And that was to have two parcels of property where the salt brine pumping station is outside north of town.
Good.
So at that time, they were approved to put in an industrial business, so they had to be zoned industrial. They are, it shows up, Jackie did get me a copy of their taxes for the two parcels. Okay, so the records have been updated to reflect that they've been changed to industrial. The only thing that did not get updated is if you look at the existing zoning map, it doesn't show it as AR, it shows it as R1. So, but their tax documents show it. Also, the future plan shows it to be industrial.
Okay.
So with this one, when we get to the vote, what I recommend is we have no action, but I will get with Wade and Trim to see what is needed to have our maps updated.
Wouldn't that be part of the whole process?
Should be part of the new ordinance, I would think.
Yes,
So you just need to make sure that's.
just to make sure it's
Put in there.
followed through with, okay? Because it wasn't followed through in 2020. That makes sense?
Yep.
Well, the future map already has that as industrial land.
Yes, that's what I said. The future does, but not our existing. You got,
Well, how can the future map have it as industrial and our map doesn't? And we don't.
you have both a future map and an existing. Okay,
The
that
existing map doesn't match.
no, that future map is, that could be 10, 15 years down the road. That's why it's the future map,
The master plan map.
more of the master plan map, yes.
I haven't got that with me. I've always got the problem because this land was all set up years ago.
Well, it was set up,
And that should have been on the map should have already been.
And that's, well, that's all we're doing here tonight. We're just making sure that when Adam and Wade do the update, that it gets put on the updates on the map. Everything else is
Okay.
done. The rest of it's all been done.
Cool.
Okay.
here's our district map. It doesn't show that parcel. It shows it as a R1. A future map shows that parcel as industrial. Okay, their tax documents shows that parcel as industrial. So when they came to the board 2018 approximately to ask to put that site there, all the actions were done except correctly updating this map. Because that's what's written on their taxes, industrial.
So why haven't we corrected the zoning district map?
Because it was missed when it was released in 2020.
So why can't we fix it now?
That's
That's
what,
what we're working.
that's what my motion would be, is I'll contact Wade and Trim and see what it takes to correct it now.
Just to be clear, you don't need to tag weight and trim, you just need to give Jackie a list of all the things that need to be incorporated.
Is that clear?
Yeah, clear as mud.
Next one is 13-1. And this is actually establishing the Office of Ordinance Enforcement Officer. And this was created back in 2013.
Number 3.
I looked through what additional amendments, Jackie and I looked through what additional amendments were created since then. They don't include all the same exact wording that is in 13-1. Okay. So there's two ways that we could move forward with this. Is one, I would say, one, we would have to write a new amendment duplicating 13-01 because really 13-1 has expired. Soon as 2020 ordinance was approved, anything prior is expired. Or the other is I want to get with Wade and Trim and see as they're updating the ordinance right now, if they can't just include this. So at this point in time for 13-01, I don't have a direction that I want the board to vote on until I talk to Wade and Trim. So we'll vote on that when we get to it. And then the last one is 08-100. That was replaced with actually 24-1. So when we get to it, the board just needs to vote to mark that as inactive/repealed. So of the 5 items, I'm comfortable with making a motion on 4 of them. There's more research that needs to be done on 13-1.
Should 1902 be added to that then?
That's part of 24-2.
Oh, sorry.
All right, we're gonna move on. To number 3, the review the status of possibly amending section 1411 for prohibited structures to remove semi-truck bodies, motor vehicle body or similar items and add subsection 1411D BC. So on this, there is a conflict of interest with me, part of it. And that is that I currently have a piece of property in the township with a semi-trailer on it.
Good.
So I'm going to abstain from any deliberation, any talking or anything. You guys will have to talk on what you guys are gonna do with this amongst yourselves.
So while you abstain, and this is one question I have, is Roger, I'm gonna lean on you. I didn't talk to you about it in the time. But could you just make some notes of like who makes the motion and who seconds it and if it's carried? Because I will have to step in as acting chair for Elvin is what I figure I'd have to do since he has a conflict of interest, he would have to abstain.
I also abstain.
And Doyle's in the same situation. So
In the same situation for this particular one.
this particular one. So, I mean, if you go back and look at the meeting minutes, if both Doyle and Alvin have conflicts of interest, we would have to, that vote that happened last month, I'm not saying we can't vote on it again this month. The vote that happened last month would have to be reversed because two of the voting members had a conflict of interest and it wouldn't lead to a positive vote.
You need to rescind
You need
last
to
month.
rescind last month's vote.
I'm gonna send out a piece of paper or pamphlet paper for you guys just to sign. So I can make some sense of it as far as who said what, make sure everybody's done. Cause that's what you want me to do, right?
Right, so right now, we're talking about it. It'll become more critical when we get to on our agenda.
Oh,
Yes, I had under the action items would be more critical.
My thought on this is. There's a lot of people in our township. That. Aren't gonna come here and support the fact that they have a trailer in their yard. They just wanna be left alone. There's a lot of people out there that can't afford to put up a $30,000 garage, but they can go out and buy a $5,000 storage unit. And store their stuff in it. It's silly. That we can't allow. Truck bodies or containers. We are a rural community. It just. I think it's silly that we went well. And that's why I would like to. Change it.
Now. What you're saying is that pertaining to all the areas in the township?
No, I think it repeals the residential. R1, lake residential and mobile home parks.
Yes, so the way it's written today, they'd be allowed in commercial, industrial, and AR.
Correct.
Now, I did go back because you were concerned that I only had Vassar information from townships around us. Arbela actually has it's part of their blight area where they call out they're not allowed. Freemat Township also has a prohibited structures very identical to us. As I mentioned, Vassar Township has prohibited structures identical to us. I didn't continue out, didn't have time to look the other ones. I didn't find one, because I looked also in Tuscola County, and there was one other county. I didn't find any townships, and also Waterton Township. I didn't find any townships that allowed it. So if we look at our immediate area, we would be the only township that's allowing it. Again, you know, I've raised that concern before, so.
And so, yeah, those townships, do they have different areas too that it's allowed to or?
No, they don't allow them.
All.
Right.
Everything.
There's nothing, even the ones, you know, I identified three of our
Yeah,
real close townships that don't allow it. And then townships that don't mention it. They don't, you know, that they don't have anything that says they are allowed. We're writing something that says they would be allowed.
So the other townships must not have anybody that enforces that.
I don't know.
Because
mean-
they're up to.
And all I did was, you know, research online what I could, you know. Again, I mean, this is our discussion per point of it.
Right.
We'll have to, you know, we'll make our. When we get to the actions, we can make our motions.
What do you mean? It's like right now, it's causes right now here. And
Oh.
it changes. For not.
Currently, these, we're removing this line.
Okay, I got you. That's what I need.
Yeah, currently they're prohibited. We're making them allowed.
Just for sake of argument. Let's say I was gonna build a house. And I had two 20-foot containers, and I'm turning it into a house. I mean, obviously you'd have to have
You'd have to have building permit,
building
yeah,
permit,
you'd have to go through all that.
have to have structural
Yeah.
deposits and stuff like that.
Sure.
Currently not allowed. If I wanted to do that, I could just come and ask to see if there could be
Variance.
a variance or.
I mean, there is a structure in the township garage, not a living quarters, but a
Mhm.
garage that was built out of shipping containers. But they ended up putting a roof on it and everything, and then they all,
Some of those houses, right, I'm talking about, that they've made those, they've made really nice homes.
I've seen more. I've seen more garages,
Okay,
but
yeah.
yeah.
You're seeing people do that more with garages around here as opposed to like the whole house.
Yeah.
The answer is none of those would be permitted in our, it's not.
None of them would be permitted.
Correct.
Thank you.
Any more discussion on this topic at this time? No. With that, I would move that we move on to item 4 of our old business. Um, so I guess Alvin, on this portion, do you feel can you speak to it, or do you have to? As chairperson, I mean, last meeting you did, but I don't wanna,
I feel I can answer questions on it
good.
if they're asked. I think I should summarize it or motion how to handle it
Okay.
or anything in that concern.
Yeah.
I think that you need to handle it. I need to abstain from it.
So from our last meeting, the direction was we wanted feedback from our lawyer of what we could do to update the ordinance, or sorry, update the special land use without giving any hardship to the business.
Correct.
And the key was for the parking of vehicles that are going to have service on them versus vehicles that were bought and for sale.
Correct.
So from the feedback that Tammy got, Ms. Stenzer got from the attorney, we could update the special land use for the resale of cars. So we had an updated one with that, include all the verbiage from 2008 without another meeting, without a public meeting.
Public hearing.
However, if we would want to include the service and repair, that wouldn't have to have vehicles parked behind the fence, then definitely probably a special land use special meeting would have to happen. So,
Only if your plan is to change the conditions. They were both approved as part of the original special land use permit. But the conditions as they are drafted apply to both entities. If you want to change the conditions on that second entity, you would have to redo that.
but
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Yes.
What is the condition on the first? Is it the same as the second? Is that what you're trying to say?
The conditions for this were equally applied to both, according to those original documents.
So you're saying that the repair side and the dealer side had the same condition under repairable vehicles had to be behind the fence.
According to the minutes from 2007, that's correct.
But according to the application was just for resale of vehicles. There wasn't an application for service and repair in 2008.
What point are you making?
That if you're going,
At that point, though, it was my understanding that it was already established a service facility.
so you didn't need to have
He
a
need a special use permit for
right,
a service facility. He wanted to add dealership.
dealership, correct?
And it is also my understanding we don't have paperwork for that, correct?
The only paperwork on file is the May 15th, 2007 special meeting, and I sent you all those documents. And I can.
So how do we work with
Since
an
2007.
established business that already had?
It's included in here. Do you want me to review the paragraphs from the minutes?
Yeah.
After questions and discussions, Green moved, second by Kavanaugh, to approve the special exemption used. It's conduct an automobile sales and service facility with the following stipulations. Current fenced area to be made into solid fencing 6 foot tall. Sign area to be landscaped, at least 12 shrubs and 2 deciduous trees installed with work to be completed by the end of 2007. No junk cars or those awaiting repairs are to be visible. Roll call vote, Jarzell, yes, Fletcher, yes, Green, yes, Kavanaugh, yes, Kager, yes.
But again, the application only calls out for resale vehicles, not service or repair.
Personally, I'm confused.
So, oh,
I am too.
Me too. Okay, so 5 years ago. What was it again? Were they just selling cars or was it just in repair? Service. Were there any cars sold at all there?
Yeah, he continues, I think Owen, this year you probably sold some cars, right?
Okay. So, I don't know.
But the hardship is if someone comes in with a car, not for reselling the car, but for service and repair,
Mhm.
it immediately has to go behind the fence. And that isn't,
So when you roll one out, waiting for parts, you're working on the next one,
Mhm.
that one has to go behind the fence.
Right.
Well, if it don't run, you just want to roll it out as far as you can until you get the parts and get it fixed. So how do we fix it?
Well,
We have to
here's,
change the special land use.
So these are the two options that were provided. Number one, corrective special land use permit. The planning commission may issue a clarified special land use permit that consolidates, restates the original 2007 approval, including all conditions exactly as adopted. Option two. If there is interest in modifying the existing condition concerning vehicle visibility or any other condition of approval, a formal special land use permit amendment application would need to be submitted to the planning commission to review at a noticed public hearing. So my suggestion is that you ask the property owner which direction he would like the planning commission to go. Does he want you to issue a clarified special land use permit that consolidates and restates that 2007 approval as it is shown in the public record, which I just read to you? Or would he rather submit a special land use permit amendment application for you to consider at a notice of public hearing?
Which way would you like to do?
The issue that I have with all of it is originally when I came in here in 2007, applied for that, I applied for the dealer side of it only. And I never realized that they were, and I don't think that the board at that time realized that they were putting stigma on the repair side of it. Because that was already established. So I wasn't in here asking what to do with the repaired vehicles that were coming into the facility. Because that had been established 1929, when it was a gas station repair garage. And originally, when I bought that piece of property and came into the township and questioned them on whether or not I could have a repair garage there, they said yes. That was the first original design of that piece of property, and it's always been that intent of that piece of property when it was designed. So I didn't realize what happened when they originally approved that when they added my complete name to that application, the American Auto Sales and Service, that service part was going to come back to haunt me. The issues I have is going back through the process to correct it. How much trouble is it going to cause me with everything that's gone on in this township in the last year and a half? I mean, going back through and
My first problem with this is
it's fine.
that 2007, the planning commission approved an automobile sales and services facility at this property.
But under one of the conditions is the
How
condition,
did they get changed?
because it didn't get changed.
The conditions
The condition.
is what he's
conditions-
referring to.
The conditions were original on the approval. And back when I applied for it, I only applied for the sales side of it because I didn't need the service. But when you guys wrote it up, you wrote it up as sales and service. So the service got slid under the conditions of the sales. Is what Ms. Dunzer said.
Alvin, am I correct in understanding that your claim would be that the service portion would have been pre-existing, so it would have been grandfathered in?
Absolutely. The original,
But then when you expanded it, you would have had to have come under compliance.
when I expanded it for the service.
Right.
I imagine I would came under all the compliances due to the fact that
But I mean, you would have, because it requires special land use permit underneath our current ordinance. So you would have had a grandfather clause that would have protected you. But it only protects you until, if and when you expand that use. So when you expanded that use in 2007, had you have had a special land use permit for it at that point. I totally hear what you're saying, that there was a misunderstanding about how the conditions were applied, which is why I think having the conversation about potentially correcting that. But, I mean, I read to you directly from the 2007 meeting minutes. But I don't think that the premise that what you had would carry forward is correct. I think that what you had carries forward only so long as it is maintained in its original state. And once you expand that use, you would have had to have gotten a special land use permit anyways. In 2007, people might not have understood that, but that is the way that it works.
so under that dilemma, I don't need to do a complete. I don't need to do a complete new slot. Because what we're saying is I can't. Or I'm asking for permission to modify my slot in order to stay within ordinance. And doesn't the planning commission have the right to make a modification to make sure someone stays within ordinance?
How is it modified though, if that's what you were doing before?
Because the modification will be being able to leave the repaired vehicles. Out, the incoming service vehicles that are being repaired will stay outside the fence.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was gonna answer your question. I can.
No, go ahead, you heard me.
So you are, so option number 2 would not be requesting a new special land use permit. Option number 2 is an amendment application. You would be requesting an amendment to the special land use permit you already pulled pursuant to the 2007 meeting.
Yes.
So I think the question that Jerry asked is if that's what you would like to do.
I'd like to amend it, so I can
Okay,
stay with.
yeah, because I was thinking a whole new one myself.
You wouldn't need a whole new one. You would be asking to amend the one that you already hold the special land use permit. You just feel that the application of the conditions as currently worded cause you a hardship. So you would be asking the planning commission to amend the special land use permit that you already obtained.
Yes,
And we can do that without the
You
public.
have to have a.
Still gotta have a public hearing.
to amend.
Okay.
But you can schedule that public hearing for your next meeting and move forward with that.
So I guess if,
I'm asking the board if they'd move forward with it.
I'm pretty sure that we have to have that in writing. So I don't know that I have an actual application to amend a special land use permit, but I think that we could probably use the special permit application that we have and make a note on it that it's to amend. But
If
you
you
so,
email me what you want me to fill out, I'll fill
I'll
it
make
out
myself
and then I'll
a
drop it off in the office.
so Alvin, at this point though, you would have to cover the cost of public notification and escrow.
You would have to set up an escrow. There's no fee for the application, but you have to set up the escrow and its actual costs that are charged. And you would do that through Jackie as well.
Do we feel that, this is sort of a hardship that was brought on by the township also? Do we consider asking the other board to waive or cover the escrow account? We've done that before when we've had to make corrections like to the church and down to New Light.
I can run a mine.
Yeah.
If that's what you would like.
And we would vote on, I just want this discussion, we'd have to vote on it when we get to that. Yeah. How would you like us to go down that path, ask the board to cover the cost of it?
Send commenting on any of that. I have no comment.
Okay. Yep. Any,
Any commission screw up, I think the township should pay the cost.
I'm just saying, like, to make a motion that we ask the board to see if they.
yeah, and we'll get to that, and that's one thing weird with the,
This is such a mess.
okay, any other discussion on old business topic 4? Okay. Next item is building permits issued and complaints.
So as you know, the document that I sent is a snapshot in time, so I'm continually working on that. So the one zoning permit that has been requested doesn't currently have a zoning permit number issued to it, is because we're awaiting additional information before that can be issued. With regards to the complaints, several of the complaints have been closed and resolved. Including the one relative to the Murphy Lake Road property. During that process, I sent you all an email. I sent it today because I just got the response from legal counsel today, so I don't know if you had an opportunity to read that. But one of the property owners, who happens to be sitting with us today, would like for the planning commission to consider amendments to zoning ordinance. So I'm presenting you with those suggestions for the planning commission to consider at a future meeting.
Are these copies, copies are here?
I only have the one. I tried to photocopy it, but when I photocopy it, the highlighted portions turn out black and can read out. So the township's copier might be better, or maybe you could send
If
an
you
electronic
send-
file.
I'm sorry, you did say you sent it, to- you're gonna send it to us?
I sent you an email about it, but that particular document is not included because that document, when I scan it, it's maxed out highlighted sections. You wouldn't be able to read it. As
You can't just save it in PDF.
soon as I scan it, it shows up black.
Oh, it's even, really,
They're highlighted.
I mean, right from your computer.
So,
The same I already gave you.
Yeah.
I gave a copy to everyone.
yeah, so, Jackie did give me a copy of what you guys had given to the other board meeting, okay?
Right, there's a few.
Yep, so maybe we just need to make sure that Roger gets one. I assume you have one.
Yeah, I guess I thought it was like, you typed it up,
No. I'm just passing along the suggestions from the
Right.
property owners.
yeah, that's where I got confused.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
You know, saving a document and then just send it that way and it can show up.
I don't have the other.
Okay.
I don't. We provided
Yeah, hard copy. If we use-
You did.
If you want electronic, I can send them.
But you got new information on that parcel, that's something you can just have a state meeting.
If you don't mind, you can send it, since I already see.
You wanna hold that?
There's no violation.
No, I haven't.
Summarize the outcome of the investigation and the consult with legal. There's no violation to
It's the same, so.
Yeah, you're right.
So
This is.
the one thing though, we got one more public comment coming up. And my understanding is to be put on the agenda item, you need to speak to the public comment. So, and I don't know, probably should, yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to, so someone doesn't say you didn't follow your procedures, that's all I'm trying to do. Okay,
So if you want to speak to your amendments,
yeah,
that's all I have.
All right, we're gonna move on to the second public comment.
So you want me to talk?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have a copy, if you guys want electronic, then I'll need email or something.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna state your name and your address.
Yep.
And you gotta make it short and sweet, it's 3
Yep,
minutes.
Sam Weber, 4138 Murphy Lake Road. Just down the road from 4296 Murphy Lake Road, we had the police come in our driveway, so I'm looking for this guy, Alberto. So in this ordinance proposal I sent, or you shall have a copy of, just the general thing, I highlighted everything, if I remember right. Yeah, I think needs to be taken off in yellow and red. Well, that's the existing ordinance you guys have. So if you go through each page and then everything added, I would say is in green. So I think I caught all the things that are new, are now incorporated in the new ordinance that would encapsulate everything in that I found online that facility could be called. And what I'm proposing is that we should at least have their name out there in a sign. So we know it's actually functioning as a facility. We don't even know it's working there. Nobody on the board knew it was working. And the other thing was, is should there be something saying that, how do we protect the community? Can we have them like a kennel, a dog kennel? You have to have a 6-foot fence to keep dogs inside that property. Should there be something that says that these, to protect our community, that this is somehow got into our community? How do we protect ourselves from the people that are in there? Everything I found in the Michigan State stuff, federal stuff, everything is for that person to be taken care of in the facility. Doesn't say nothing about our community, but it does state in all the Michigan stuff is that they have to abide by local laws. You guys do the local laws. So can we change this so that they have to do something? Like I said, there should be a sign out there, and how do you contain somebody? Alberto was 50 years old or something, I think I found, and he's a sex offender. That's the only reason we found he lived there, and there's another sex offender there. 2 of them associated with that address. I don't know if it's anymore, but there's a CMH is what I found. It's community mental health, and they're going through, I think it's Bay Area, not Scola. So I did have that information too. I think I gave you guys as well. I found a list of all these CMHs, and that facility is called Beacon Specialized Living. They're directly related, or I found exactly their name in a CMH website. And I found a nice Excel file that actually shows all the facilities. They don't show that one yet, so I don't know how often they change this Excel file, but I think it was 1,300 facilities in Michigan. They show. So I have that also I found, the community mental health stuff. So they can pop up anywhere that's 4 or less, according to Michigan State, they don't need a license. Any adult foster care, 6 or less, 12 or less, whatever, they have to have a Michigan license.
so they're saying they don't need a Michigan license.
Michigan's laws say you don't.
Oh, you got it, good, thank you.
Michigan law says they don't need a license for 4 or less. For a
Okay.
community mental health facility.
And how many do we know it for sure that they have?
So we can't look for a license because they don't, by the state, they don't need one.
I'm kind of confused here. Did you write this?
Yes,
It's just his proposal, I mean,
yes.
Okay.
So I just took yours, we had to
Mhm.
format it in Word and then we added.
Is there anyone else that'd like to comment?
I guess I'm Marcia Babcock. I guess this guy was at my house in December, tried to get in my house. I had no idea, nor anyone else in the neighborhood. Called 911. Police were there like instantly. They were already looking for him like 2 hours before that over on Swafford and Katy Road. If I wouldn't have had a Ring doorbell, it was 9 o'clock at night. He tried to get in. It was cold out, you know. It's kind of scary because, like I said, we had no idea these people were even there. None of us did, and you know, right there. I'm at 4196. I'm only like one house between my house and that house.
And he was by himself, correct?
Yes, yes. He was walking, he was cold. You know, he'd been up since I heard from since 7 o'clock that night, and it was like 9 o'clock. When a little after 9 when my ring went off. And if I would have had my ring in front of my garage, he'd come around to the back of my house and try to get to my door.
And he's been out multiple times before.
Yeah,
Police
yeah,
reports.
well, got all the police reports.
If you want them.
But trespassing is a criminal matter, it's not a zoning matter. So true, the township doesn't enforce trespassing laws. That is something for the sheriff's department.
So. How long has this been going on again? For a year now? Versus,
They bought it
Yeah.
in 2020.
Right.
Yeah.
Or, but we don't think it was functional till mid last year.
Because they got you a lot of these.
Because they've seen him working on it.
Yeah,
Dumpster, so.
there's a sheet, a timeline if you want me to look up the actual first, 911, I'm sorry.
The only thing that the planning commission can consider at this point forward is whether or not they want to amend the ordinance to address these.
Yes, that's the only thing we can do. So the only thing we have to.
I know last
That's what
time.
we need to do.
So let's move on, guys. Let's not keep, this was to see about putting it on or next month.
Right, I just wanna make sure we covered our,
So we covered our procedures, new procedures. for that. Is there anyone else in the public comment that would like to speak for 3 minutes? All right, so we're gonna move on to the action items. So we got the close of the old ordinance.
okay, so. I make a motion for ordinance amendment 24-02. That. The board has currently needs to take no action. For this, however, the. Amendment would be included in the next 2020 ordinance update.
You're making a motion to take no action.
We don't have to. We don't have to change anything because it's already approved
What we motion to
or disapprove.
approve it the way it is and send it to Jackie to make sure it goes to Adam.
It's approved already.
Right, but to make sure Adam has it to put it in the update.
Well, you want to, okay, so you want to
Just make a motion that
make a
we
motion
accept
that,
it as is and that we send it forward to Jackie to make sure Adam Young receives it, to make sure it goes into the updated version.
okay, so let me just, we'll scratch that motion. I make a motion that for ordinance amendment 24-02. That this board. Accepts that ordinance as already approved. And Jackie to forward the approved ordinance to Wade and Trim. To have it incorporated in the next ordinance update.
Well, Jackie doesn't actually do that. You're just going to give all of these that you want to to Jackie, and then the office will take care of it from it.
Whatever, as long as it's way, it's we motion. Do you want to just include all of them together? And we're gonna.
So let's walk through each one separate.
So I'll second the 2402, the motion to accept it as is, as the original. Amended version.
Yep,
And
and
so you wager.
send it to Wade and Trim, yes.
the way you think. Roll call, Fletcher,
Yes.
Mansky,
Yes,
Savage, Jones.
Yes.
Yes.
okay, 24-1. I make a motion that the board approves 24-1, which is already approved. And have it sent to Wade and Trim to be added. Well, yeah, it's already approved, but I mean.
Like to move it forward to wait.
Asking the board to process with amendment
Yeah.
24-1.
Yeah.
At the next
Yeah.
meeting.
We have a second?
Yes.
Yes.
Savage, Fletcher.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. 18-01. I make a motion that, excuse me. Currently, this board. Let me make sure I word this correctly. Does not feel the need to write a new amendment. Just have the zoning map updated by Wade and Trim.
Say that again.
18-01. I make a motion that the board recommends no new amendment be issued. Just have Wade and Trim update the zoning ordinance map to reflect,
So you're basically making a motion to have them.
update the map. Yep.
Second.
Fletcher,
Yes.
Mansky, Savage.
Yes.
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 13-1. I make a motion that we table that for a future meeting. So Ed Maschke can get more information to get better direction.
I think you could add it to the list and we'll give it to Wade Trim when we give them all the others. And if you need to do something.
We got a motion on the floor.
So your motion to this,
We need a second.
Second.
And what was your motion again? Just to leave it?
That we table 13-1 until Ed Maschke gets with Wade and Trim to have more information to help us determine the next steps.
roll call,
Yes.
Yes.
Fletcher.
Yes.
Yes. And for last one, 08-100. I make a motion that the board votes to make it inactive / repealed due to it being replaced by 24-01.
Support.
You say it one more time as far as the motion, so.
Which you get, I can decipher from the video.
Okay.
Fletcher.
Need a second? Did we get a second? Sorry.
Yes.
Mansky.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, prohibited structures.
Okay.
So this time I will act as chairman since Elvin cannot due to conflict of interest. First item is I make a motion that the vote from last month's meeting to proceed be rescinded due to two of the board members having a conflict of interest.
So
I mean, that's our first step. We can vote on the other one.
I'll support it.
Any additional discussion? Okay, we'll vote. Cook,
Yes.
Yes.
here's yes, Maskey, yes. So now, if we want to have a motion, like you made the motion last time, Cook, so I was gonna offer the same,
I'll make a motion that we put out a notice of a public hearing to change section 14.11 to read as written. Is that good?
Yep. I will second that. Is there any discussion?
Do you have a date in mind?
Maybe if you want to amend it to the next month's meeting, which is,
You don't use amended, I'm just asking if you have the date of.
So we don't, you don't,
Myself, no,
we don't need a date in it then?
you can, you don't.
Well, I can amend it to make it for next month's meeting.
I still second it. Any additional discussion?
Should be the 13th. That's still from.
Okay. Ready
You
to vote?
second it?
I second it, so we have a motion, we second it. Any additional discussion?
I'm just gonna pause you for half a second, because I wanna make sure that. The last time you guys had the conversation, you wanted to bring your notices to the next meeting and then schedule it at the following meeting. Is that? still
There was a notice in,
plan
so,
Preparation?
so the notice is attached. I guess. If you want to make another amendment to it, per attached notice. Because that actually calls out April 13th, 2026 at 6 p.m.
So is that?
That's what was in the packet.
I think as long as we have it for next month's meeting, it's here. We followed our. Yeah, I don't think we need to amend it.
Any additional discussion then? And with that, we do a roll call vote. Cook,
Yes.
Yes.
Beers, Maskey, no, motion failed. We'll move on to action item number 3, 2027 special land use permit for American Auto Sales and Service.
So
So Alvin, Alvin, or what Alvin wanted, so I would make a motion that,
I don't think you need a motion for that. I just need to have the application from Alvin and then I'll submit the application to the planning board.
and then we should schedule a public hearing.
That's right.
I make a motion though that Cook contacts the township board to have them to seek approval to cover the cost of the special land use notices and waive the um
Escrow,
escrow, thank you.
let's support it.
Any additional discussion? Fletcher,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Beers,
Yes.
Maskey, yes, motion carried. Alvin, you,
The
next,
next planning commission meeting would be April 13th. So everyone knows.
Um, So. Board. It's just been, we went over some budget stuff. Supervisor got a deputy. And there's no update on the planning commission. Employees.
So
Appointment,
we got
a deputy supervisor.
supervisor. Cool.
Just for work.
Awesome. Uh. Anything else for during the rest?
We definitely need to have this on our agenda for next month. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, yeah, we're not adjourning yet. We were presented in the. Public tonight like this. And then it was given to us prior to the meeting, even as we did the public comment, so I do believe that we can.
I think
Motion
we,
to add it to our next meeting,
Yep.
can we not?
yep, I mean, we can make a motion or either way, but,
How does the township board do it when they want to?
or do
Is it
we,
just the chairman that makes the decision what to add?
So. We'll take that. If it was a concern from the public, then we'll discuss. We'll put it on the next month's agenda. If we found it to be necessary, and then we can discuss it then. So that's just what you said to do.
So I can add it, I can have it added, it doesn't need
To
to
next
a roll
one.
call. Did you guys do a roll call on who?
No, you
No.
just added on the.
Alright, I can just add it then, okay.
No, we can put it on next one.
Yeah,
I
all right.
recommend.
There's a lot here and it's not.
Also
I
request,
didn't know if the township board, if they, somebody came out and requested something, if they have to. Or no, we don't just mention. All right, I'm a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second,
Ayes.
aye. That's up.
Are you guys adjourned?
We're adjourned.
Yes.
Is it working on? Okay, just want to feel that to make. It's not, no.